I was
Mm-hmm.
very nervous about that. Actually, that's a concern that I had.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, I was worried about a couple other small things. I'll
Yeah.
just mention them without getting too in detail because I don't know
Mm.
if we want to dive into that just yet.
Okay.
My ADHD meds aren't legal in all the countries that we skipped through, so I was a little tiny bit concerned about that. I didn't
You
want
should
to get
say
detained.
you should clarify that we didn't go to different countries because we were visiting those countries, but because it was a layover. Because going
Layover,
from the United States to Argentina, it's a long ass trip, and usually you'll
long
have a
trip.
couple stops.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I was a little nervous about that, but it turned out okay. I can share more details on that later. Um, I was worried about money because I didn't know how we were gonna pay for things because it's like United States money. I was
Can I
worried
explain?
about all of these topics are their own thing.
Oh yeah, you're just
Do you
skimming
want to
over.
segment into that?
Okay, okay,
Yeah,
no, no,
yeah. I
continue,
was I was
continue,
worried about the
continue.
money. I was worried about cell
Yeah.
service. I was worried about my ADHD meds. I was worried about the trip because it was just really long. We had already had everything worked out as far as when the flights were, like a month in advance. We were fine, but I was worried about, it's still a long trip. What if something happens, right? And then it just like I didn't know how I would speak to myself or stuff like that because my Spanish is very rusty, very rusty. I think that's everything that I was worried about. What about you? Did you have any worries about this trip?
Oh god. Yes, I
T-
did.
Spill. Tell me. What were your concerns?
So, my damn. I was worried about my family not behaving, number one.
Uh-huh.
Because you said it yourself. One thing is accepting like, I'm sorry to use this term, but like more common trans, I guess, like, female to male, male to female. It's easier to understand for people that are
No,
not
you're right.
into this like world of
Yeah,
queerness.
you're right.
And you're non-binary, and literally you would have been the first non-binary the first non-binary person most of them ever met.
Yeah.
I knew that some of them already were not behaving great with me, so I was like, I'm gonna like, I'm speaking to chat right now. You know
Mm-hmm.
how sometimes you'll let your family kind of step over you a little bit because it's like, ugh, like whatever, but then your partner comes into the picture and you're like, you better behave, motherfucker. That was kind of how I was feeling.
Yeah. You were very defensive. Like,
I was keeping like I wanted to make sure that I would keep an eye out, that I would
uh-huh.
listen, that they would behave. That was a concern of mine. Another one was something that, as I mentioned previously, another one of the reasons why we wanted to have this trip in the first place, it's because I wanted to get a medical procedure done, and I still had to work a lot of the logistics while we were in the middle of the trip. So
Yeah.
I was worried about that a little bit, making sure that everything worked out well and all of that stuff, pretty much. Like, make sure that the
Yeah.
procedure even happens at all would have been a
Yeah.
good thing. Uh, my family, I'm trying to think of what else. I knew that my mom, I know that that was gonna be great. I was not worried about meeting my mom at all or things being awkward or things like that because I have a pretty good relationship with her overall.
Mm-hmm.
I was also a little bit concerned about making sure that everything worked out in terms of like payment and stuff. And
Me too.
we'll dive into that in a second. Like, the money itself is not the problem. We will get
We
there.
had it.
We will get
But
there.
it was like,
Yeah.
it was in this account, but then like this account and that account, and it's in
Oh.
US dollars, and how do we get it from there to there? And then in the middle of that, I'm not going to say the website, one of the places where you make money, good money, no disrespect to them, but they were like, sorry, random check-in from our payment provider, you got to prove that you're you in the middle of this,
Yeah, just
and we're not going to give you the
annoying.
money. And it was just
Annoying. Just
in
annoying.
in the
stuff.
middle of the trip, like, why then? It's been 6 months since the last time.
I
Just,
know.
Ugh.
I know. Another thing that I
Yeah.
was worried about is I know that Argentina is very different from the States. I was so okay. I'm sorry. I'm gonna spill out a little bit of my own frustrations here. I really
Do it.
wanted you to meet another country because you're so used to the way that, like, you were so used to how things work in the US that you thought that no other place, like, you did not see how things work differently in other places, and that bothered me sometimes. Like, I wanted you to experience that difference, and I didn't want you to like panic because something that has happened before, and other Argentinians can, agree with me on this one, is that when foreigners, but specifically Americans, get to Argentina, the difference gets so overwhelming that they get scared and just leave.
Interesting.
Yeah, like they're like, oh, these aggressive, loud, like loud Argentinians, and it's like, no, bro, just take 2 seconds to get the culture.
I've known you for 3 years. I'm used to loud.
Yeah. I wanted you to actually give the country a shot. I wanted you to experience the good things about it. And I want you to believe me, because sometimes it felt like I would tell you about how things would work in Argentina and you wouldn't believe me. And now you experience it firsthand. And it's like, yes, now you know I'm not like just crazy.
I never thought you were crazy.
I know, but I had to like worry at the back of my head.
Oh, that's understandable.
I knew that the trip would be annoying. That was gonna be long and tedious. I was very worried about making sure that we won't make it to all the like planes on time, because it was a plane of like, oh, we're gonna go here, and then we're gonna go here, and then we're gonna go here, and then we're gonna go. Like, there's so many different stages where things could get fucked up, and they did, and we will get to that. We will get to that. But oh my god, there's something that we have not told. That Jesus Christ, I'm glad that we were able to like fix that.
Oh yeah, me too. Yeah.
But yeah, I would say that was pretty much it. I was a very big mix of excited and nervous.
So we were just sharing thoughts real quick about what we were feeling before the trip and anxieties and stuff.
Yeah.
So how was, for you, the actual trip down there? Was that worse than it used to be? Was it better? Are you used to it? How was that? Because you've been back and forth how many times now?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8.
8 times.
Yeah, I've done the trip Argentina, US 8 times. I'm pretty sure.
I think it's 6.
You think it's 6? Okay. I'll trust your math more than mine.
No, I think it's 8. Hold on. You visited the US a while ago before you even knew me as a kid.
That's back and forth.
2. And then you visited me for a month in 2023. That's 4. And then you came to live here. That was a 1 way. That's 5.
Oh.
And then it was you went down there, and then it was 7. It was 7. So close enough. Thank you for the dono.
Yay!
Thank you for the dono.
We got one of the stories
Hades.
We got one of the Sussy stories funded.
That would be mine.
Thank
you, Hades. You're the best.
Thank you, Hades. That means you get half of it. You get half of it.
If you follow me, you have the gold star emote in your follower emotes. Y'all spam the chat with gold stars as a thank you for Hades for the amazing donut. Thank you so much, Hades. You're the best. We will tell that story. That involves some of the healthcare stuff. There's a sussy side to it. So we're going to tell that in a minute. But we're going to tell my story. Fuck yeah. I'm going to keep that on the screen so we don't forget.
Yeah.
Don't let me forget. I won't.
Yeah.
I'm so excited to tell that story. We're going to tell that story.
So I've done that trip 7 times.
7 times. How was that trip compared to previous ones?
A little bit more anxiety-inducing, because this time I was dragging your ass with me, your diabetic ADHD ass with me.
Right.
So there were extra concerns that I had to worry about, like making sure that when you got like stopped at security because you need to explain that, oh yeah, I have this ADHD, like, sorry, I have this diabetes apparatus connected to me because I need to survive.
Oh, that's normal for me, though.
I know, but like that's one of the examples of like, checking your blood sugar. I think I was very insistent about that. I don't know if I got annoying. Doing like, how's your blood sugar? How are you doing? How are you feeling? Because I knew I can do this trip. That's easy. It's annoying, it's long, but I know what to do. That was your first time having a trip that long. So I wanted to keep an eye out for you.
Oh, you're so sweet.
I love you, dumbass.
I love you too.
Yeah.
So on the trip down there, we had a layover in Peru. At first, that was a layover of 3.5 hours. We were supposed to meet a friend, but we couldn't because sorry, your flight was delayed. Now it's 2 hours. Sorry, your flight was delayed. Now it's 1 hour and 30 minutes. Sorry, your flight was delayed. Now it's just 55 minutes. And we had to message the friend and be like, I'm sorry, we can't see you. We barely have enough time to get through the airport to get our connecting flight.
Literally.
So he said it in my chat earlier. So if you remember who that is, great. If he's here right now, I'll reveal who it is. But we had a friend in Peru. I'll just keep it anonymous for now, just in case, because there's a lot more viewers here than usual. We were gonna see him, and we couldn't because of the fucking flights. There was nothing we could do to make it better, and that was so sad. He made gifts for us. We couldn't.
No.
It was so sad. And on our flight home, it was direct from. What's the international one? Ezeiza? It was direct from Ezeiza.
Yeah.
To
that's one of the airports in Argentina.
To Atlanta International. We don't live in Atlanta or Georgia, but that was, we took another flight to home. Yeah. But it was direct from Ezeiza to Atlanta, and we didn't get to go back to Peru. So we missed our opportunity to see that friend, and it was so sad. It was so sad. I'm curious if I want to message him. I'm going to message him, actually. I kind of want to ask him, hey, how much would it cost to ship it here to the States? Because if it's affordable, I want those gifts. I feel so bad he made gifts.
That's fair. That's fair.
We couldn't get them.
I mean, we're going back to Argentina, like, eventually, so.
Yeah, but it's not planned, and that could be a year or more.
Yeah,
I don't,
I know.
That was sad. What else? On the flight, the connecting flight in the States was just run-of-the-mill, boring. We know, we've done it before, who cares? But from Atlanta to Peru, it was a really nice plane. It was big and it was wide, and there was like cushier seats. I'm like, okay, I kind of like this. And you sat next to this, was she Peruvian?
Yeah.
She was this woman. Tell me about her. You kept talking to her in Spanish.
So basically, I sit down and I'm already listening in, and it was so interesting to slowly, like, depending on what airport and what plane we were on, slowly Spanish becoming more and more and more prevalent. And I was listening in while we were like hopping on the plane, like boarding the plane, and I heard Spanish like kind of everywhere. So I'm like, oh right, we're going to fucking Peru. Of course, there's a lot of like people that speak Spanish on the plane. And we were hopping in and like, oh, disculpa, es nuestro avión. No, perdón. Disculpa, acá, nos sentamos acá. Y es como, sí, dale, no problema. Basically, I immediately introduced myself as fellow Spanish speaker. And the thing about, and this is something that you actually got to experience, the thing about Latinos is that we warm up to each other a lot easily. And we make small talk a lot easier, at least I've noticed. We are a lot more conversational and a lot more like, oh yeah, fellow human being, let me tell you about my child. Like, person that I've never met. Let me talk to you about my child. And yeah, I'm gonna be visiting my son. And I'm like, oh, and this is my partner. And I was like, oh, so cool. You're from the States? No, I'm from Argentina. And we just started yapping back and forth. And I don't know, it was just wholesome. Imagine this like short, long hair. Was she wearing a fucking poncho?
I think she might.
She was wearing a fucking poncho. Short, older, like she might have been on her what, 50s?
Yeah, something 40s, 40 to 60.
Adult kids. Is gonna go visit, getting a medical procedure done. It's just nice connecting. Like it warmed my heart so much because it started to set in that, oh my god, I'm going home. Like I this warmthness of Latinos, it's like, yeah, I'm getting that back. I missed it so much. It made me kind of emotional.
I could tell. Because you started offering her things of mine.
Sorry!
Like, oh, soda. Do you want this soda? You want some of this water? And you were grabbing my things and offering them to her. And I was like,
sorry. I was so really excited.
It's okay. It was fine. It was fine. But, like, it's one thing if we share a drink. I don't